Um, okay, let's go ahead and get started. We got Michael, Tiffany, and Jim. Does anybody have anything on, well, the table of contents is gonna be updated when we do everything, so I'm gonna skip that.
You still kind of, you gotta go through the,
So the work session goes along with the agenda?
yeah, you still have to call the meeting to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
all that. And approval of the agenda for the work session.
okay, gotcha. Okay, let's call the meeting to order, for the board of directors.
Michael Cornelia.
Jim Moore.
Stephanie Balsley.
And Julie Saul, and Lynn Beer is not here. I believe he will be showing up soon. Are there any conflicts of interest from the board of directors?
Michael, none for
No.
me.
No for Jim.
Stephanie?
No conflicts for Stephanie.
Okay, and I don't have one either. General public input, please limit your time to 5 minutes per speaker.
There's no, sorry, I should have printed you off the work session agenda. There's really no public comments.
Okay.
At this portion for the work session.
Okay, but now we still have to approve the
May I
agenda.
make an announcement before we proceed? I'm going to try to stay for this meeting, but I'm really under the weather and knocked out. And so if I make it through this meeting, I'm going to bail after this meeting, and I will not be able to make it to the full board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Good, Jim.
And you have to still approve the agenda.
Yep. Let's move on to approve the agenda. This is Julie. I make a motion to approve the agenda for January 20th meeting.
Stephanie, I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Lynn just did show up. Do you have any conflicts of interest, Lynn? Okay. And your motion, or your approving the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. We're still doing approval of minutes?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, there's no minutes for this.
Okay.
That'll come at the regular meeting.
All right.
So I should have printed off the regular agenda.
All right. Okay, so we're going to go on to page 6, which is the introduction on the board manual. Does anybody have any changes other than what was on that page in red?
Did you say 6, Julie?
Page 6, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still looking for my earlier submission.
No changes. It's fine with me what's there.
Okay. Lynn or Michael?
No.
I don't think you had any changes on this page, Jim. We'll go to page 7, which is starting at the top. Any rule may be altered at the top. Any updates or changes on this page?
Go down so we can see the red.
Fine with me.
Okay. Michael, Lynn? Good.
Part 3. Sorry.
Lynn or Jim, any? You know, I have Jim's. Let me find that. Got Jim's updates in here. I'll just toggle back and forth until he gets it. Jim had no changes on that page. Okay. So page 8 starts with Rule 3, 1A term limit.
So Rule 3.1, I kind of wanted to visit that. The bottom of page 7 with the officers.
Okay. What was the change? Or
I feel like this was a kind of a rare situation, but I kind of wanted to add that board elections shall take place at the first meeting after swearing in of new members, attended by all current board members. That all board members should be in attendance for officer elections, and that you know, it would not only, it didn't happen this time with 4 people voting, but it would eliminate a tie in any situation. Having 5 people present would eliminate that situation if it ever occurred, that all board members should be present during a officer election.
so annually, the first board member biennial election. During the same month, the board shall elect a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer for the next calendar year.
I think there's another section in there that kind of goes over the elected officials that maybe that might be a better suited spot for it.
This is actually where it says the board shall elect a president.
Oh, okay.
Again, like it's not gonna happen all the time. If there's 4 people, 2 people running, like there may be an issue of a tie where if everybody gets sworn in either on that date or the following board meeting, just all board members present. That's kind of all that there would be 5 people voting. Each board member has a say.
So then to put vice president, secretary, treasurer for the next annual year with all board members present.
Yeah, I mean,
Voting.
everybody else might not agree, so
That's. I agree, like, we should be, if we're not there for the first one, you could do this a temporary runner-up meeting, just the next. Meeting.
yeah, and I can't think of name, my head's gone. Like Robin was the president, so when she's eliminated on that one, yes, I could see where a temporary would be necessary. Or again, it's not something that would happen all the time, but I feel like that's why elected officials are elected, and so they have a say in.
And I will say, in the likelihood of us losing the president, vice president, and treasurer on an election year is going to be slim to none, because I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but in the event like the president and the vice president are up for election and they don't choose to run again or get beat in that election, then the treasurer would step up and be acting as the presiding officer. Just some knowledge.
Yeah,
but I do agree with you.
Yeah, but yeah, if that's not a change, like, yeah, just adding up literally one thing.
so you
The
just
first meeting that all board members are in attendance following the election.
so like this one would have been Robin stepping down, new members swear in, and again, it's not like this was. Again, I knew it was going to be an issue. It won't always be an issue for every board. It's just one of those situations where there's 4 voters. There could be a tie.
Or if that person wanted to be an officer.
Yeah.
Like,
How's this sound? Voting for the board position shall occur when all board members are present.
Elected officers.
Yeah.
that first one's kind of.
Shall occur when all board members are present. do temporary. Oop. Temporary elected,
I don't think you need to spell all that out if they're
No.
already in process, and
okay,
I think they can come up to it if it happens.
okay.
Yeah, I just literally had board elections shall take place at the first meeting after swearing in of new board members, attended by all current board members. But, I mean, it's,
Well, I can put that in there. That sounds good. Voting for the, say that again.
Verbatim.
oh, let me see where I kind of thought there was a good place to throw it, but,
I think that person was right, but
for the next calendar year, board elections shall take place at the first meeting
Okay, hang on. Okay,
comma, after swearing in new members. Comma, attended by all current board members. I think I have members in there too much, but, it
that's okay.
just sounds like it's.
All right, let me get shall occur at the first. Okay, so board election shall occur at the first meeting after swearing in new members attended by all current board members.
We could do first regular meeting. Or first monthly meeting or something to that effect, where it's not like a special, where the public's fully aware of it, it's not a special meeting, called on short notice.
And I would still, if you want my guidance on this, put board officer elections, because you're not electing every board member to a position.
Mhm.
You're electing officers.
Okay, so attended by all current board members at the first or next?
first.
First,
I would make it part of the first meeting.
first regular board meeting? First board meeting
I would do it the day they're sworn in if everybody's here.
at the first board meeting. Okay,
That's my
That good?
preference.
Alternative choices here, Corey had put in and, may not be a member of the board, the FLMD Director of Administration shall perform the duty of the secretary. So that's all good with everybody?
If one's not elected. If the board doesn't pick a resident to be the secretary.
Treasurer,
The treasurer,
you said secretary.
Sean is the
Sean,
secretary.
secretary, you meant treasurer.
Well, I'm saying treasurer doesn't have to be the board.
Does not need to be a member of
The
the board.
treasurer,
We screwed you up.
I think I got my wording wrong here. I believe the treasurer and the secretary both don't have, or I think the treasurer is supposed to be a member of the board, and I think the secretary is the one that doesn't have to be a member of the board.
Which is why Shauna does it.
That
Well,
is
technically.
correct.
So if you want to set it in stone to where it is always the director of administration to be the secretary, you can, or it could be a member outside of this office.
I think it should be the Director of Administration always. Because that person, in my mind, knows everything that goes on in the district, so.
No,
But I think,
that's our guys' choice. I'm just giving you guys the information.
yeah, I think the treasurer, I think you and I talked about it or wrote about it. It can be somebody else. Like
And
we
that's-
could have somebody who's,
And that's up to you guys.
yeah,
I believe statute says the treasurer has to be a member of the board.
okay. So we will take that out.
I'm gonna.
could be wrong, but I know the secretary does not have to be a member of the board. It can be whoever the board says designates. But I believe the treasurer has to be a member of the board.
No, you could just put must be a member of the board instead of need not be. Something like that.
Okay. Must be a member of the board. Okay. If you find something different, let us know. Okay, rule 3(1)(a), term limit.
Yeah, no, the treasurer has to be a member, the secretary does not.
Okay. Anything on this page? Rule 3(1)(a), term limit, laws and regulations.
I think it's term lengths, not term limits.
Yeah, links. Oh, let's see,
I thought we changed that. Term length. Why is my markup not showing up?
it changed.
It's already marked up. That's why.
I agree that we wanted to sub the word length.
Yep. Okay, that's changed.
And I have my file now, so
Okay.
I'll jump in when my stuff comes up.
All right. Anything else on that page?
I'm just wondering about having the actual years in here, which was going to trigger us having to redo the manual every couple of years, 27, 29. Do we have to have those years in there?
My suggestion is, we not necessarily need the 2027 one in there, because that's right around the corner, but it's not a bad idea for the board to review this policy every so many years to keep it updated with new laws and legislation and all that good jazz.
Okay. I just wondered. I'm good with it either way.
And then this is also where, if the board so choose, could set term limits, so Lynn couldn't run 3 election cycles in a row, or Michael couldn't make a lifelong career out of being on the board. If the board wanted to do that, if not, I would not add that, because some years we get people that want to run, and other years we're begging.
Any thoughts?
'Cause didn't we used to have term limits before, Shauna?
I think she dropped off.
Oh, she's there. No, I think we used to have term limits before, and we ran into nobody wanting to run, so it was they kind of just did away with it.
It's probably why you got rid of it then. All right. Rule 3(1)(b), laws, regulations, anything there? 1(c), summary of expectations.
If nobody else has anything, that final expectation there.
As recommended.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like the public engagement has been appreciated. With some of Lynn's posts, I feel like limiting social engagement, especially in a district this small where we're all neighbors, we shouldn't be limited. We should do it with the understanding that when we speak as a board member, as a member of a board, not as individuals. Like, we have our private pages or whatever, but when we do so as board members.
I agree. I don't know if I agree with doing it as board members, because I think you can differentiate the two. I think personally, I was going to bring it up probably next month as like an item, but I think we need someone to get a summary out, like I had been doing. but I don't think it should be through Neighborly Forest Lakes. I think it needs to be through either our official page or some type of page. But I think having a summary of what's done like I've been doing, I agree. I think the residents appreciate it. And I think almost we need someone on the board to do that each month via our official page and not via a private Facebook. But that's a similar, but I think in general, I agree. Social media, I think, has benefits to it. I disagree with SDA. There's a reason it's a recommendation and not a, I mean, we legally can't stop. None of us, it's a First Amendment protected right that the Supreme Court has upheld.
Yeah.
And it's not going away either. And
No, it's the way you talk.
It's not going away. They just recommend not to use social media because you never win, and that's their words.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to word it differently, or
Word it differently, Julie. I kind of agree with you that maybe when we are using social media, because it is our right, but we keep in mind that every time we're doing something as a board person, that we do refer people to the website or to Corey for official standing. You know, maybe something that we our statements are our personal statements and views. For official views, you know, please make sure to look at the webpage or something.
so we could say, as recommended by special district, social media is not well, we've already said that.
Well, if we're going to continue using social media, the begs the question if that statement even needs to be in the board manual.
I think it does for people that are coming in new, because people are going to use, I'm not saying that we shouldn't use social media. I choose not to, because when I first got on there, I got eaten alive, and I won't do it ever again.
Oh, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's just, that's why they recommend not doing it. But it's up to an individual.
I think having a wording, something kind of like what Michael said, if you replace the whole thing with, I don't know, when engaging in social media, you be mindful that you likely represent the board and not just yourself.
And that's what I said.
Yeah.
Social media is a place for public engagement and not for board discussions. Engagement should remain positive and follow the understanding that when engaged as a board member, you represent the entire board.
Yeah.
Where entire board could probably be the district or FLMD.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
that point.
Yeah.
One more time.
What you guys just talked about.
What's that?
I like how you guys just described that.
Yeah.
Social media
Mhm.
is a place for public engagement.
Yep.
And not for board decisions.
Okay.
Engagement should remain positive and follow the understanding that, when engaged as a board member, you represent FLMD or whatever, however you guys want to end it, or any corrections. I don't know if FLMD is the right thing there either.
Yeah, I think it will be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Because people obviously take away, you're making positive decisions.
All right.
Michael?
Positive right here. Okay, so social media is a place for public engagement, not for board decisions. Engagement should remain positive and follow the understanding that when engaged as a board member, you represent FLMD.
But you could also leave in there that SDA training and guidance should also be followed to avoid. What do they say there? Is there something good up the animal?
No, I think that sounds
Okay.
good. SDA.
And guidance should be followed.
Should be followed, and where possible, direct any resident questions. And so you just take a little wording out there, but tie it back into the website. Minutes and documents, or documented
District
information.
Association training and guidance should be followed where possible and direct any resident questions to the FLMD website or FLMD Facebook page for recordings, minutes, or documented information. Cool.
Or straight to the source.
Huh?
Or straight to the source.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to save this because I don't want to lose anything. All right. Next page starts with the president chairman shall perform. Any changes on this page?
No.
No,
Jim or Stephanie? No?
No, it looks good to me.
Okay, so we said originally we should leave this. We're going to take this out as the treasurer need not be a board member. Just the treasurer shall be responsible.
Yeah.
Okay. Next page, discharging of employees and management.
Oops.
I had a couple minor things in
Okay.
3.7 in the red text, submit a letter of interest. And I would insert in joining or participating in a committee.
Sounds good to me. Anybody else?
One more down under part 4, objectives. It says recommended at the end of the first paragraph, and I would like to see something stronger. It looks like you have it in there to be embraced.
Yeah.
He struck through recommended.
Yeah. You may have already
What do
put
you
my
have on here?
changes in.
Yeah, it shows the track changes, getting rid of recommended.
Okay.
Replace
I wonder
it
if we
with
put that in there, Jim, because I may have put that in there from you. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Next page starts with directors for input to ensure a well-rounded decision.
Sorry. The 1G, the openness. No. The 4.1G.
Page 11.
Yeah. So this is where I'll touch back on Lynn's and comment earlier. I basically have the same thing. That 1G does not promote openness, but it tries to restrict freedom of speech liberties of board members. On sensitive topics, there's a limited process in redress. Once an action has been processed to its fullest extent, it should be accepted as district policy or action moving forward. There is the ability to redress or to revisit, whether it's in that meeting or in the following meeting. We do have that process. And I know there was a big example a couple of months ago, but there was a course of action that could take place following that board meeting. Once you shut down conversation, you basically eliminate any, like, I don't know how to say it. That's how it came out when I,
You can
When I-
disagree with the decision. You should still be able to voice it. I agree. You shouldn't impede, maybe is a better way to frame it. Once the board's made a decision, you shouldn't impede it anymore, but you can voice your dissent. I mean, we have that throughout the courts. We have that the very, I agree, it's a pretty huge thing.
where is it in here? Is it on that one? There is the ability to go back in the same meeting or in the following meeting to revisit a topic. And when you limit conversation like that, you take away the ability.
So if I may, Michael, and maybe I'm reading this differently than you, the way I read this is you're allowed to have a disagreement, but once that decision is made, you kind of have to stand by that decision or follow the proper process to have it
Okay.
done.
And
And maybe that's how I'm reading it.
No, and I agree. Fully agree. But what wasn't discussed publicly was that there was a decision made on email prior to that next meeting. If there was a decision made on email to shut down future conversations, none of that would have taken place. That's what I'm trying to say is without, again, maybe it wasn't the best way to move forward, but without the ability to speak openly about the topic, there was a decision made, and this will come back like the sunshine laws, but without that ability to communicate openly, we wouldn't have revisited that topic. A decision was made over email to a board member that we would not revisit that topic. So
That decision isn't intended to be a board decision. That is, if you're referencing, the president gets to decide. It's not a board decision. Like, I don't think that one, I agree with your premise of we shouldn't discourage discussion. I think, and rereading it, the sentence before, like if we just remove the last sentence, I think it's fine. Like that once action taken by a majority vote, they should support the action after it bears implementation. However, they can voice dissent, like that's different. That's what the last sentence I don't like is, but the revisiting thing is technically the president's decision by themselves. It's not
What we could put in here, because there is a section about that, we could say, refer to section whatever it is. It's down further.
yeah, you can't recast the vote like that. If I remember right, that was found. That isn't allowed to change the vote unless it's in the same meeting.
Right.
But you can reopen it for discussion or request, but in the end, the president has final say on what's included and not included in the meeting.
So I agree with that, and I think it should have paused. We all know what we're referencing. I think it should have paused when Stephanie sent her email that she was going to bring it up for topic of discussion at the next meeting. By board policy, I'll like, what is it called? I'll hear your arguments, or she had to present. Stephanie had to present to you.
Mhm.
After Stephanie's email the following day, it should have been, we'll discuss this at the next meeting. And I think that's, to me, it should have stopped on email. Not, I reviewed everything, we're not going to do that. That's my opinion. No, I might be wrong, again, according to the next topic where we're going to probably visit, but.
And sorry to interject you, but I kind of feel like we're getting a little off topic with the conversation that's happening it does kind of tie in. It does kind of tie into this.
So with openness, I think, and I do have it, that when all courses of action have played out, that to the fullest extent, it should be accepted as district policy or action moving forward. So I do agree that once that second meeting, like that was kind of my issue here, was that there was one more meeting to address that topic or that decision. So for openness, if we just talk about openness, which we probably should have, I think Corey's right a little bit. I think there should always be the ability to communicate with the public. I don't know how far though. And again, maybe I wasn't entirely right. I'm okay saying that. But there should be an ability.
I think this is just stating that there should just be openness between the board members and trying not to create any barriers. And then the other, what you're pointing out to, is addressed down at the bottom in that other section.
But it does say there should, like Lynn said, there should be no minority opinions.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like that either. That last sentence is very anti-open.
Okay.
And I get the intent of what they're, but I don't think that is. I think everything up to that point I'm okay with, because you shouldn't be creating barriers, but you can still object.
Yeah.
And you can, I think, if I recall, I had thought the legal process was you decide what's on, and that was why it was decided over email. I think that's a legal thing.
Yep.
I could be wrong. A minute. But so if it's a legal thing, I don't think we can change. But if not, I get your point of, if someone wants to revisit, they should have a time in a future meeting if a board member requests it. If that's legal, and the president doesn't have that final say.
Yeah, it's not, according to the SBA and according to Paul.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It is. If Paul said it wasn't, then yeah, the president gets final say, unfortunately.
Right.
It's just the way.
So you have to make the decisions or recant within the same meeting. Or, as Stephanie did, she requested
Be reheard.
to have a review, re-review.
Yeah, but that's where it lies on the
Yeah.
president.
So if we just take out, there should be no minority opinions or individual disagreement,
Yeah.
that would be good. Stephanie and Jim, are you okay with that?
Thanks.
Sure.
Rule
That was a yes.
7.4 and Rule 7.5.
Yes.
That's what you're referencing.
Yeah, it's reconsideration, same meeting, reconsideration, subsequent meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we still,
no, are we done with that one? Because it's just the list right after that.
so we're on legal obligation considerations, duty of care, loyalty, obedience, Colorado Open Records Act. Any changes there?
No.
No.
Okay, Rule 4.2, information.
That's where I wanted to. So duties, if we're doing duties of the board, and that's where I'd like to, we don't have anything about sunshine laws at all, like a duty to avoid decision making behind, or in emails or in conversations. We don't have anything about sunshine laws or anything like that.
Are you referring to the duty of care, loyalty, obedience section?
So I would actually add a duty to avoid violations of sunshine laws. So we have duty of obedience, loyalty, duties. Can I just read again? Like these are, I had duty to avoid violations of sunshine law. All official meetings shall be conducted in public with reasonable public notice, with official minutes taken unless official executive session is warranted. Under that would be serial meetings must be avoided to ensure participation by all board members, to ensure public's right to attend, observe, and participate, and to ensure highest level of transparency and public trust. And so again, that duty is just, I guess it would be a duty for transparency more than anything would be added to that list. Because we do have that duty to the, or we do have that expectation.
Yeah, the transparency, I think, is the better instead of the negative. Yeah, all the others are all these less frictional things.
And this is actually under legal obligation. Like we're legally obligated to be as transparent as possible.
Yes.
Again, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be everything that I wrote. It's just like a duty to be as transparent as possible. And I think just like a couple of these, to ensure participation by all board members and ensure public right to attend, observe, and participate.
Yeah, and that is the sunshine law specifically in Cora, which is the next one. But
Okay, so duty of transparency. I think just 2 quick bullet points would be good. You said a couple, Michael, that do we need to call out the sunshine laws? Because nobody really knows what the heck that is unless you're here.
The sunshine laws are kind of tied to the Colorado Open Record Act.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know that needs to be called out specifically, but that's a decision for the board.
And that would our little highlight of Cora is just about public policy, that all public records should be open.
Right.
So maybe, we could put, instead of adding duty of transparency, you put it underneath the Colorado Opens Act, avoid violating sunshine laws.
It's good, yeah. Like you said, it is addressed under Cora. Yes.
Yeah. Can we say avoid appearance or violation of sunshine laws?
Avoid the appearance of and or violating the sunshine laws.
I don't like the appearance because people can find appearance anywhere. Like it's either you violate it or people don't disagree with that. I think the appearance is irrelevant. I think it's you did it or not. Like,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Lynn. I just know that, the board meeting that Michael was talking about, there was certainly the appearance of is what had a lot of people riled up. Is there some way we can phrase it differently, maybe? I
don't think
say attempt or something.
I think what riled, like, I don't think the sunshine law was what riled them up. I think they thought the conflict of interest was,
Yeah,
or the perception of
it was most definitely the perception of the conflict of interest that riled up a lot of.
So if we put down avoid violating the sunshine law, which means, because we need to say what the sunshine law is.
Avoid violations of the sunshine law, ensuring the public's right to attend, observe, and participate. Something like that. So you're directly tying the sunshine law to the public's right to attend, observe, and participate.
And we do have 16 minutes until our regular meeting starts.
We may have to do this again.
Which is totally fine.
Avoid violating the sunshine law.
Ensuring
Public's
right to attend, observe, and participate in all meetings. Or, excuse me. All meeting.
participate.
Avoid violating the sunshine law to ensure the public's right to attend or participate in the meeting? Doesn't sound right.
To attend, observe, and participate.
And I think it would be in all decisions.
I was fixing to say more decisions than meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more time, to observe what?
Observe, that's it. Comma.
And meetings and decisions.
Or just, yeah.
Or something like that.
Decisions. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna take out duty of
Or-
transparency.
Meetings are where decisions are made or something.
Participate in meetings. And what?
We can move on.
Okay. All right, anything under Rule 2 information? Next page 12, complaints.
No.
Anything on that?
I have a note
Okay,
on paragraph 3, and I realize the note isn't as clear as it should be, but if the email is sent to an individual board member, the board member should copy the president and district manager. And then the sentence after that could be stricken.
so if the email is sent to an individual board member, it is recommended to copy the president and district manager to ensure there is transparency and take out in some cases.
Right. I recommended is probably not strong enough. I think it should be a should in there. The board member should copy.
I think that last sentence should stay in there or change to a bit, because if it's a complaint about me, I don't know you necessarily want the resident. Given the, I don't know.
Depends on the circumstance.
So like if a resident was mad at me and they're trying to remain anonymous that they're filing a complaint on the district manager, you may not necessarily want the district manager to know who's making that complaint on the district manager. For
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it, but retaliation purposes.
And that's where that last sentence, in some cases, this may not apply and the board member should use their discretion, should absolutely stay in there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, because I know I'm not going to retaliate, because I mean I make people mad all the time. Comes with the job. But you may get another district manager that gets a complaint and sees it, and then starts doing some nefarious things, if that's the right word.
No,
Again,
no argument on that. Thank you for clarification. I would just do the should thing.
We're not always talking about you, and it's a good point that you bring it up, because there has been issues of that in the past.
Uh-huh.
So, and to avoid in the future, that's why those things should be left in there.
Okay. Anything on 2C, safety, policy, interaction with staff, team effort,
No,
constituent requests, interaction with district manager, board as a whole, monitoring progress, preparation,
Last part in parentheses, I don't think is legal.
huh?
So they can converse, they can't converse related to board things in groups of more than two.
Oh, that should say 3.
No, it should,
No.
it's your reference
Yeah,
to
no,
two.
the 2, yeah.
But I mean, theoretically, all 5 of us could go do something if it had nothing to do with the board. And we didn't talk about anything on the board. Like, I'm not saying that has a good appearance, but legally that, like, this in the chorus or yeah stuff.
No, you're absolutely right, because the three of you guys can go have dinner as friends, but what you can't do is talk about work business. Now, the appearance of, well, they were conducting business outside of this is going to be real, but
So no more than two board members may converse about FLMD business outside of a board meeting.
that sounds better.
Okay. Staff notes. Courtesy.
Nothing more there for me, I don't think.
I'm sorry?
Nothing more for me there.
Oh, okay. Anybody else?
No,
Next page. Anything on here?
yes, under conflict of interest, paragraph 2, I would recommend adding counsel from the attorney shall be considered the final arbiter of conflict of interest.
Did I spell that right? Arbiter.
Missing something.
It's an ER,
ER.
yeah.
Arbiter of, okay, counsel from the attorney shall be the final arbiter of what?
Of conflict of interest.
I don't agree with that, but if everybody else does this.
I don't know that it needs to be here. I think that's a general standard I'd have is if you have a legal question, if the lawyer answers it, like I'm following on their advice, makes sense. I don't know that it needs to be here. And I think we have that up above, that I remember us arguing with that.
I think so.
Like, I don't know that it needs to be specified here.
It's one of those, the public perception. But I understand legal representation. That's why we have them. And I agree with the statement, but I don't. Anyway, I understand. I agree with the statement. I'll leave it at that.
In context, I think this has an important role in this clause because of the context.
Okay.
It
I'm
might
fine
be,
with it, because I would want to make sure I'm following legal advice.
I do think at the beginning of that, when needed, board members should consult the district manager and attorney. Or as needed, or if questioned, or I don't think we need to consult with them on every single potential thing.
Oh, up here, when needed. Board members should consult
Yeah.
with the district manager and attorney to ensure there's not a conflict of interest. Okay.
And please don't talk to the attorney about letting me know so I can expect it on the bill.
Yeah. Do you want me to put that in there?
No.
Okay. Anything else on this page?
no,
Okay, we'll go through a couple more pages and then we got to get ready for the meeting. Disclosures. I need to make all of these, whatever they are, statutes, whatever you're going to call them, linked, and I think they are, and they will be linked once I accept all these changes. Anything else on this page?
no,
Board meeting procedures, I updated it to what we are now. Special meetings.
there's something I have on page 15, rule 4-15 advantages.
Okay,
And then it says board members should consult with the district manager and attorney if you are unsure. I put the same phrase in there because of context. but I'll leave that to your judgment. Counsel from the attorney shall be considered the final arbiter of advantage or conflict of interest.
And I feel like that kind of goes without saying. But
Well, it didn't in a real big way. So,
True.
But also public perception is real, and although the attorney may state legally, you can't stop
The public from
the public perception of a topic, and that's the only. It's not even a complaint, because I agree that the attorney does have a final say.
well, that's why I added it. It's
I don't think we,
one of those things where somebody needs to say that in the meeting when the accusations are flying.
sorry, I don't think this should be necessarily like, we should be doing everything for the betterment of the community. I don't think this manual should necessarily worry about perceptions of the public. Like,
No, this needs to guide the board members in the best direction.
So if I may, I think this is a good time to call the work session to an end, and we can set up another work session at our next regular scheduled meeting to finish this and go over the board goals for the strategic plan.
Yep, so we're gonna stop on page 15. We'll revisit rule 4-15 advantages. All right, so we'll close the work session. Thank you, Jim.
All right, now